From the Crush Studio in sunny Florida, this is the Disney Crush Podcast. And now your two tempests in a teacup, Dave and Tony Ann.
Is Disney secretly kicking around the idea of bringing back Muppet Vision 3D? And where would they put it if the rumor is correct? We'll tell you what we know. And Geo-82, what's all the hype about? Is it really that great? We had some friends that just went, and they're going to tell you what they thought about Geo-82. The good, the bad, and the ugly of Facebook. And Veronica is back in the Crush studio with me this week for episode 396 of the Disney Crush, the #1 rated Disney podcast.
Did I miss something? #1 rated Disney podcast? Where'd you get that?
Well, I mean, not technically, but I mean, have you ever listened to the show?
Okay, not technically. Hello.
Have you ever listened to the show?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Never mind. Yeah, you never listen to the show. So that's me. We might be #1 if you listen to it. See, we need more listeners.
I think that's, people have vision boards. People have a lot of things.
Well,
Where'd that come from?
You know what? What do they say? What's the old saying? If you think about it hard enough, you'll make it come true.
Oh, fake it till you make it?
Fake it till, yeah. Or you can say that a million times and it still won't make it right. I don't know, something like that. Whatever.
All right, you go with that.
I'm going with that. Do you have any news, Tony Ann? I'm gonna call it Tony Ann. So do you have any news, Veronica?
Nope, I have no news.
Well, I heard a rumor from a YouTube source, and this YouTuber, I'm going to say, is they're better than most.
Well, now that I know what you're going to talk about, I have seen it on YouTube. It's actually several YouTubers. They get together and they have a channel, and they just talk about things that are going on at Disney. So, I mean, we listen to them like all the others, whether they're better or worse, but they piqued our interest this time. That's all.
Well, they have some very strong opinions about Disney and other things, and they claim that from a good source, exactly, that Muppets Vision 3D might be staying around. They claim that their source has told them that because of the love of the Muppets, that they had no idea that it was so beloved, they might keep it around. And the kicker is where they're going to put it, or where they claim that they want to put it.
Yeah, all this is speculation, of course, but we did watch it twice to really listen to what they were saying and why they were saying it. So, yeah.
Well, I'm kind of torn by this one because Muppets, okay, it was cute, it was nice, and it was good to be there, but I mean, they took away the Great Movie Ride, they took away Maelstrom, they took away Splash.
I know.
And they didn't put it somewhere else, or Alien Encounters.
The rumor sounds more feasible if you put it in the theater next to Rock and Roller Coaster and make that a Muppet courtyard. That whole back area, which is what they were talking about, replacing the new villain show with it because it is a theater already. They said the technology, it would take a lot of work with the technology, the 3D. It would take a lot of work. And putting in the villains took a lot of work. So I don't know, but maybe I kind of hope that that's what's going to happen. But, again, all rumors, all people thinking, one of the reasons is they talked about how they are saving a lot of the props from the show, not more than usual is what they said. And they are packing them really well. Like maybe they're going to use them again or move them. I don't know. I have no idea. But, it was pretty interesting to watch. And,
well, back behind Tower of Terror, if you could make room back there to make it so it's not a dead end. You could go right around the whole thing back there.
I don't know. I know they talked about that, but I don't know how that would get. I don't know what that had to do with Muppets.
Nothing, but it would help the people flow. It would help the flow of people instead of having a bottleneck back there. That's all. And if they connected it back there, then all that would be better and it would flow better. So that makes sense. If they put Muppets back there, then they would probably go around and connect it all. So now you have a better flow of a better flow. That's what they were saying.
Yeah, but I still didn't understand when they said it either.
Yeah.
So.
If they could do it, with Fantasmic back, and all that kind of stuff, if they could maybe make more room back there.
On that side of the park?
Yeah, and make it flow better for people.
Well, to get out of Fantasmic, yes.
Yeah, the whole thing.
At night. So the whole thing is, it's just interesting.
It would make a lot of people happy if Muppets came back, if they kept it. And it makes sense back there because now Rock and Roller Coaster is going to be Muppets. And the Villains doesn't belong there. It's kind of like Moana at Epcot. What is Villains doing at Hollywood Studios behind Rock and Roller Coaster?
I think they're wanting, I don't know, I think it's to get people excited about the new project at Magic Kingdom to bring the Villains more into the spotlight. And we haven't seen it. And I know that people on Facebook, our friends, really love the show.
From our friends that we talked to, they have said it's a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10. And we did ask our listeners, and we're going to tell you what they thought about it.
Well, Margita thinks it was okay. Nice place to relax and enjoy the visual effects. And she also recommends to sit further back for the best views, which I guess makes sense because I think there's all picture frames that transition. And so that's probably really good advice. If you're expecting a story, you might be disappointed, but no spoilers.
So what do you think that is? 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10? I don't know. It's hard to say.
I think it's a good one.
Kayleen Stunts says, we really enjoyed it. They make you want to go back to see who will be picked the next time. What that's about.
That could have been a spoiler.
I will definitely go see it again. I think it's a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10.
Yeah. And Judy, she really enjoyed it. I'd give it a 9 out of 10 rating. Short, but the actors were great. And the special effects were cool. I definitely will see it again. I'm really looking forward to seeing it.
Shell, we saw it last week and really enjoyed it. 8 out of 10 for us. The kids in the audience also seem to enjoy it. Lots of visuals and bubbles. Wow, there's a lot of spoilers in here.
I didn't know there were bubbles. All right. Well, now I really can't wait to see it.
I'm liking bubbles. I'm liking everything I'm hearing about it.
Uh-huh.
We can't comment too much on it because we haven't seen it. So we're just going to find out what the temperature is here with this thing.
I know. Makes me want to see it, though. All right. From Marianne, we actually liked it enough to go 3 times over our trip. Wow.
I'm going to call that a 10 out of 10.
I think it's 10 out of 10, especially if they had to wait any amount of time the way we did.
Oh, my gosh. I know. Jeez.
Yeah.
Need to talk to her and find out how long she had to wait. Rick Forbes, my family loved it. A 9 out of 10. All right. Thanks, guys. That was cool. Now I really, really wish I'd have waited that first time instead of coming back. But you know what? Like Karen says, it ain't going nowhere.
Well, and also it was the wrong part of the day.
Yeah, I guess
Next
you're
time
right.
I go to Hollywood, I would probably do that the first show. Mm-hmm. And it would just be cooler, even if we go in the summer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because...
It was 3 in the... I don't know. Actually, it was later in the day, but it was so hot. It feels like, I don't know, 106-ish.
No, I saw my phone.
120-ish?
176, yeah.
Yeah. Next time.
And we asked that question on our Facebook group, the Friends of the Disney Crush. If you haven't joined, join us. We have a lot of fun over there. And I asked another question because we didn't get to experience it, but a lot of our friends did, so we can't comment on it. So I asked our friends, and they told us what they thought about the new Geo-82. Jeff Opolka, I want to thank you for the photos I used on the Friends of the Disney Crush. I appreciate it. Some great photos. You take some really amazing photos, Jeff. Thank you.
And he thinks it was very fancy and a great experience, but not somewhere he needs to go back for a while, although his wife wasn't able to make it. So I have a feeling they're going to be there soon.
She's going to want to go
If
back.
she wants to go back.
She wants to go see it. Yeah.
Well, maybe we can make it on a weekend that we go. We haven't been there, so...
Gina Simpson says, we did the fireworks experience Thursday evening. The fireworks from that lounge are spectacular. So much better than Rose and Crown. Wow, but Rose and Crown's is a little cheaper. Spice Road packages, that's still a little cheaper. Now the food is good, but I was still starving when we left. You get unlimited drinks, champagne, margaritas, and old fashions. All are top shelf. Toby and I both agreed we would do it again.
That sounds encouraging. I don't recall the price for the fireworks show.
I think it's $999.99 a person.
That could be.
Actually, I think it's like $179, which is really out there. But, compared to their drinks, which are really out there too, and the food.
Well, I'm going to dispute you on all of that
Okay.
in a second when we get there.
Okay. Well, I mean, you can go to, like Gina said, the California Grill. I think that's $89. Let's call it $90. Spice Road Table, I think that's $81. Let's just call it $82. And Rose and Crown, which is $92.
Oh, you're talking the fireworks package.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I'm talking in general, the drinks and things.
Okay. Well, tell me about the drinks. You like paying $26 for a drink?
Maybe.
Wow. I'm in trouble. I got to keep you away from Geo-82.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I know it seems, we watch the reviews and look at the menus and we see the prices, which are, $25. So I've seen the menu and they range from your, $25 to $28. That's not, of course, the exclusive Disney bourbon flight, which is $49, which I get. If you're into bourbon, I'm sure that sounds just all fine. But I went and pulled up Olga's Cantina, and we are paying very close to that for these pre-mixed drinks that to me are okay. But you're looking at, so if you look at the Outer Rim, that's $20. The Bespin Fizz, $21.50. So I think it's right in line. And I think for a lounge, I haven't heard there's a time limit in there. I think it is so much more cool. The vibe is really cool and loungy, which is a big plus. Like, I don't ever have to go to Olga's again. I just don't, unless I bring someone to the parks that has never been to experience that. But I could see sitting half a day at Geo.
Oh, I don't think they're going to let you sit there half a day.
Well, I think if you're buying drinks and eating, I just haven't heard there's any kind of limit like Olga's where you have, 45 minutes, get up and get out. Don't know what it's like in there.
Well, they have an age limit, 21. No kids. That's a plus.
Maybe that's why to me it seems so more loungy.
I think so.
So much more loungy. Mm-hmm. But I'm just saying, so I think if you really compare the prices, and you know what? I don't think their drinks are pre-mixed out of a hose. I hope not.
No, they're special. They're poured, I think.
That's what I think as well.
They're poured.
So for me, I would at least go and try it, pick a drink. Of course, we'd have to try the ahi tuna and relax and really take in that lounge feeling. Because that's really not, to me, Disney in a park. You can get that in the resorts, but I think that's going to be a unique experience.
You know what's worse than pre-mixed drinks is going to like ABC Commissary and seeing a sangria box and charging you $13 for a drink. That's
I know.
That's bad.
So I guess they didn't have time to put it through the thing. I have no clue. That's weird. So, one of the things that really kind of tickled me about Geo is that they actually have Miller High Life beer. Now they're calling it Miller High Life Lager. Yeah, whatever. It's from Milwaukee. My dad drinks that all the time. And the last time he went to Epcot, that's all he wanted was a dang Miller. And of course, they didn't have any anywhere. So now that I see this on the menu, it just makes me smile that they went to like Miller High Life. Just saying. That's all.
Well, I guess if they're serving Millers, I guess it's okay. At least they're not doing boxed sangria like ABC Commissary, and then charging you $13.
Yeah, I saw that. That's a little funny.
But who's benefiting from this is all the shareholders. I mean, I think it's getting a little out of hand with these prices, but actually it's right in the hands of all the stockholders. So there you go. There you go, stockholders. All that money, cha-ching, and they're making off of us.
Hey, Dave. I think you might have some Facebook. Did you tell me that?
I might have a little bit of Facebook.
On this week's The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly of Facebook.
Bing!
I love that.
And so does Uli.
Hi, Uli. I can't wait to hear these, actually. I have no idea what you picked.
Well, I'm working overtime because I'm doing Tony Ann's job too.
Tony Ann. Hey, girl. We miss you.
Okay, here, I got one for you. And, before you guys start judging, it just happened to pop up. So, it sounded like a good one. And it starts like this. Hi, my newborn will be about a week shy of 3 months old when we go next month. Needless to say, fellow mamas, any tips and tricks? Ooh, boy, I've got some tips and tricks, I could tell you. I've got my stroller fan ready, and we're thinking of the pre-made bottles of formula for ease while we're in the park. But I want to know what else y'all brought, wish you would have brought, didn't need it all while in the parks and the hotel. I probably would have commented something like this person did. As a Floridian, I will tell you what our pediatrician told us when our daughter was an infant. Don't bring him to the parks. No, he didn't say that. He said, when our daughter was an infant, the babies under 6 months old should not be exposed to extreme temperatures for prolonged periods of time. And it can also be detrimental when you take infants from very hot temperatures to indoor air conditioning. Babies do not regulate body temperature very well. Although it is only June, it is extremely hot. My car said 2,999 degrees. No, actually, she said 101, which is still pretty hot. Now, I think that this pediatrician is probably a Disney fan and goes to Disney a lot, and he just doesn't want kids in there, crying babies in there. So he probably told her that so she wouldn't take her baby.
You think that's what he does?
Maybe. I don't know. Just saying. What do you think about that? I mean, look, I talk a big game. I've been talking a big game for years with these kids, but
we brought ours.
We
so
did.
He's full of
no, but we learned.
malarkey.
And we learned. If I was to go back in time, if I could go back in time, those kids would be home right now. They would not be going to Disney.
Okay, I'm going to give you 2 points of view. One, we always brought our kids. But I can tell you that when I was a kid, my mom left anyone in diapers. There were 4 of us. Anyone in diapers stayed with her sister. So that was her cutoff point. If you were in diapers and we went every year, you were not going. So those are 2 schools of thought. Yeah. So Marcelo and Carlo, I don't know when they went to Disney. Me and Richie were the lucky ones.
Your mom, I love her. See, she knows. She knows.
Don't forget, back in the day, they didn't have all the things. So there was no stroller fan. So there was no this. There was no... So I think being practical, it worked. But nowadays, I mean, let's face it, they probably have little air conditioning pods that you could roll around the park.
Oh, my gosh. Oh. Ooh. Patent that. Oh, call the patent office right now. Now, we saw a mother with probably an infant, maybe 2 months old, strapped to her chest. I was thinking, oh my gosh, it's got to be so hot next to the mama's body heat.
Yeah.
And
I
wrapped
agree.
in that little towel. I'm like, oh my gosh, I felt so bad. And because it was hot. I don't know. And speaking of hot, Here's another one for you guys. With how hot it is, I really hope whoever went through my stroller while my kids and I were on Nemo at Epcot and stole our fans really needed them. It's my first solo trip with my 3 kids. What was your first mistake? 7, 6, and 4 months. Oh, 4 months. Why? What a crappy person. With Disney not letting stroller through rides, I wish there were more cameras or something to help with less theft. Okay, now here's something that we did back in the day, even though we may not have fans and all the fancy stuff. Anything valuable, put all your valuables in the backpack, out of the stroller, and take the valuables with you on the ride. It's not that big a deal.
Okay. I agree with you. You can't leave anything on the stroller, but you know what? It is cruddy that anyone touches anyone else's things. So
No. She said crappy. I think she said crappy. Like
I didn't want to say crappy. There could be kids listening.
Like
Okay. The bottom line is, I have nothing to say to that. I mean, it's really bad that you can't just hop on a ride with your kids without locking up your valuables, which really a fan is a freaking valuable. I mean, just steal the balloon off the cart.
Well, I'm sure there's been balloons stolen for sure. Oh, speaking of balloons, we were in Hollywood Studios and we're walking down Sunset Boulevard, leaving Villains because we couldn't get on it. And we were walking up on a couple and they had one of those $500 balloons. And as soon as we met them, the balloon was probably, I don't know, a foot or two from us as we walked by them. It popped. I thought we popped it at first. And
I know.
And their eyes, they just stood there like statues, like looking out in outer space, like, what just happened? There went $500.
And it was loud. It woke us up.
Oh, we all jumped, all 3 of us. Okay, I got one more.
All right, let's hear it.
And this one we can relate to.
Oh,
Yeah.
you say.
So if one is eating at Ohana mid-afternoonish and you have your empty popcorn bucket with you, is it bad form to sneak in a few of the leftovers to take back to your room for later? Asking for a friend. Right. I say no. I say fine. Take it. My advice would be is we bring Ziploc baggies. And they're easy to store. And then you just open that thing up and throw that food in there. I don't see putting in a popcorn bucket. That's just going to get all nasty and dirty and stuff. Don't do that.
You mean like walking out of Epcot with drinks?
Shh. Who would put a drink in a popcorn bucket and walk out of Epcot? That is wrong. Disney listens. That didn't happen. It's hyperbole. Never happened.
No, I've heard that. I've heard people do that.
Yeah. Mm.
I agree with the Ziploc bags, or you know what? Ask the server. I can't, incognito. I mean, that's as good as like opening up your purse and dumping fried rice in. Like, just stop.
The comments were telling them that they could ask the server. A lot of times they've been there and they let them take food. So, ask. They might say, yeah, well, I'm going to get you a box. And because I think 9 out of 10 people said they tried it and the server was fine with it, letting them take the food.
Yeah. Plus, you're dirtying your popcorn bucket.
Yeah, that's
now, who wants to do that?
No, that's just wrong, right?
I think so.
Okay. Thank you, Veronica. That was fun. Thank you for coming on the show this week. I appreciate it. We're going to have to get over to Villains because eventually Villains will be in Magic Kingdom 2029. So I guess they're going to keep Villains around somewhere just to keep people going, keep them excited about Villains. Geo-82, we're going to give it a try. And Disney, move the sangria box at ABC Commissary so people can't see it when you're charging them $13. That's all I'm saying. Just stop. Just stop.
And Dave, I have to tell you, now, I might even suggest we break our rule of no summer visiting to get to Geo. I'm just saying.
I'm fine with that. And as we talked about, I think last week, we're not rope droppers, but in the summertime, we become rope droppers.
Yeah, we would have to do it first thing in the morning. I'll see how early we could get a reservation. And we might have to do this.
Yeah.
Because I said, this is very loungy. Very loungy. I like the loungy.
Yep. And with the heat, people, our advice is go early, get a lot done between the time you get in the park till about 11ish, maybe 12 tops. Get the heck out of there. Go back to your resort. Go into a pool. Relax. AC. And then about 5 o'clock, come back to the parks or go to another park as the sun's going down. And you're going to have a much better time than struggling through from 12 to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the hottest part of the day.
I agree.
All right, Veronica.
Thanks, Dave.
I guess that's going to do it for this week's Disney Crush podcast. Thank you guys, and we'll see you next week. Say goodbye, Veronica.
Bye.
I think that's it. All right.
Turkey and truth has spoken!
Put a check on that. Can you do that, Dave? Can you put a check on that one?